Hello everyone. Today we'll start our new session. Our new session is Raspberry Pi commands and Raspberry Pi programming. So we'll start our session. Raspberry Pi uses Linux and Linux is open source software, open source OS. So it updates regularly. So we have to also update our OS. We have to upgrade our OS, and for that, these two basic instructions are very important for updating and upgrading the Raspberry Pi OS. So we'll see that. So we have to update and upgrade these commands. So first command is sudo apt-get update. Sudo apt-get update. Sudo apt-get update is used to find out the updates. It is used to synchronize the package database. It will not upgrade the OS. To upgrade the OS, you have to use sudo apt-get upgrade. So upgrade is used to update your package database. In Raspberry Pi, your all commands operates starts from sudo. So your first command is sudo apt-get update is used to find out the update database, and sudo apt-get upgrade is used to find out is used for upgrading the OS. So these two commands are very important whenever you want to do any modification in your program, whenever you want to modify your system. So always update and upgrade the system. Then in Raspberry Pi you can operate in two modes. First mode is command mode and second mode is GUI mode. To operate Raspberry Pi in command mode, we are using Putty software, and to operate Raspberry Pi in GUI mode, you can use VNC software. In this session, we are using headless OS. Headless OS means you are using only Raspberry Pi memory card and power supply. We are not connecting keyboard, mouse, and monitor. So we can operate this in command mode or we can operate in GUI mode. So first we'll see command mode instructions. For GUI mode there are no instructions. You can operate it directly. Okay. So first command is ls, listing files or directories. So it will show the number of files or directories in the folder. Next command is cd, change directory. So it is used to change the directory from one directory to other directory. Directory means folder. Then pwd is used to print the current working directory, current working folder. Then mkdir, make a directory, make a folder. Next rmdir, remove directories or remove the folder or delete the folder. Rm, remove file. Rmdir will remove the directory, it will remove the folder, and rm, only rm will remove the particular file. The next instruction is cp, copy a file or directory. Next mv, move a file or directory from one place to other place. Next wget, get a file from the internet. So wget, and then you can write down the website address so that you will get the file from internet. So there are n number of files, n number of commands, but these are basic commands used in command mode. Okay, so now we will see the basic file editing commands. If you want to write your code, you want to edit the code, so for that you have to use one editor. So in Raspberry Pi, editor is nano. So you have to use command like this, sudo nano myfile.txt. So there will be one file generated, myfile.txt. So this is text file. If you want to write Python program, your instruction is like this, sudo nano myfile.py. py means extension of Python. Nano is the instruction to operate editor, to open the editor. So once you open, you will get editor. In editor you have to copy, paste, exit. So for that there are some commands. So control X is the exit from nano. So when you press control X, it will ask whether you want to save your code or no. So control X is for exit the nano. Then control K is used to cut the current line. It is used to cut the current line. You cannot use control C for copy and control V for delete. So you have to use control K, cut the current line, and Control U, cut or paste the previous cut line. Uncut or paste the previous cut line. So Control K is cut and Control V is paste. So these are some commands used in Nano editor. Now after writing the program, you have to run the Python code. So to run the Python code, you have to use Python command. So how it is used? You have to write like this: sudo python and your file name .py. So here I am using myscript.py. So sudo python myscript.py. So it will run myscript.py program, myscript.py script. For writing, you have to use sudo nano myscript.py, and for executing you have to write sudo python myscript.py. So nano is for editing and python is used for running the program. Now shutting down and rebooting safely. In Raspberry Pi there is no shutdown or restart button. So whenever you want to shut down or restart, the option is only switch on and off the power supply. But if you do switch on and off power supply, then there may be some problem like memory card, SD card will corrupt. So if SD card is corrupt, then you cannot run the Raspberry Pi. So the safe way to shut down is you have to use shutdown or reboot commands. So there are n number of commands. So we'll say that shutdown and reboot command. So first is sudo reboot. So it reboots the Pi immediately. So no need to press on off button. Next, sudo shutdown -r now. So it reboots the Pi immediately. Now command is sudo shutdown -r now. It is not shutdown, it is reboot. So sudo shutdown -r now means reboot the Pi immediately. Sudo shutdown -r 10. It indicates reboot the Raspberry Pi in 10 minutes from now. So you have 10 minutes to work on this Raspberry Pi. After 10 minutes automatically it will shut down. Then sudo halt. So it will shut down Pi immediately. So it is shut down, it is not reboot. Then sudo shutdown.h now. H means halt, R means reboot. So sudo shutdown.h, shut down the Pi immediately. The next sudo shutdown h. So shut down the Pi in 10 minutes. Sudo the shutdown Pi in 10 minutes. Then we'll see Raspberry Pi. So these commands are for Raspberry Pi. So these commands are for Raspberry Pi. Sorry, these are the Raspberry Pi 40 pin GPIO. So this is 40 pin GPIO and these are the pin numbers. Pin number 1 to 40. So these are pin configuration. If you see the colors, from that color you will observe, you can differentiate the pins. So first color is yellow, which is GPIO. So these yellow color pins are GPIO. GPIO means general purpose input output. So these are GPIO pins. The next GPIO pin. Then there are ground pin, 3.3 volt and 5 volt pin. So these are GPIO pin, ground pin and 3.5 volt. Now there are three methods to declare GPIO pin in Raspberry Pi. I have to declare the Raspberry Pi GPIO pin. So there are three methods. So first method is by using board, as a board. Second method as a BCM, Broadcom chip manufacturer. And third as a wiring Pi. So you can use this in three ways: board, BCM, wiring Pi. Wiring Pi, this is used to configure your pin as per Arduino. So in wiring Pi you can use same instruction used in Arduino. So wiring Pi language is very simple. In Raspberry Pi you have to use Python language. But if anyone doesn't know Python, he can use wiring Pi. So in wiring Pi, same instructions as Raspberry Pi Arduino are used in Raspberry Pi. But in this session we are dealing with Python, so we have to deal with only as a board and as a BCM. So what is the difference between board and BCM for GPIO pin numbering? So first is GPIO.board. This option specifies the pins as per the pin number printed on board. So as per pin number printed on board. And GPIO BCM means the pins are as per Broadcom. These pins are as per Broadcom GPIO. So if it is GPIO 0, then GPIO 0. So to get in detail, we'll see next slide. So when you are using Python library, you have to write the code like this: import.rpy GPIO at GPIO, GPIO.setMode, GPIO.board. So here I am initializing GPIO as a board. Then GPIO.setup pin number 11 comma GPIO in comma out. So I am using pin number 11. It should be either in or out. It should be either in or out. Now if I am using this pin, see the pin diagram. So pin number 11 is GPIO 17. So after using this instruction, my final decision is pin number 11 and GPIO 17 is selected. So I am not writing here 17. But if I write like this, import rpy GPIO as GPIO same, GPIO set mode GPIO BCM. So only change is GPIO board is replaced by GPIO BSM. Then see the difference. We are using pin number 23, which is GPIO 11. So if you are using GPIO board, this pin is as per pin diagram. So you are using pin diagram. And when you are using GPIO.BCM, then this 11 is the number of GPIO. So GPIO 11 is pin number 23. So you are using pin number 23. You are not using pin number 11. But if you are using board, then you are using pin number 11. If you are using BCM, then you are using GPIO pin. So I think it is clear how to use what is the difference between GPIO board and GPIO BSM. So now we will start our first practical LED blinking program. So for LED blinking program, the circuit diagram is like this. So this is my Arduino and this is my LED. Now see here, we have to connect wires at GPIO 40. So this is GPIO 40, I have to connect the wires. If you had done mistake in connection, or if there is short circuit between this connection, then Raspberry Pi may damage. So to avoid this, you have to use separate circuit. So in market there is T-cobbler. So this is T-cobbler. And this is 40 pin FRC. So this is my Raspberry Pi, this is 40 pin FRC and this is T-cobbler. So T-cobbler will extend your pin from Raspberry Pi board towards breadboard. And you can connect now your connection on this breadboard. So this Raspberry Pi will be safely operated. It will not damaged by user. So it's better to use T-cobbler and breadboard to avoid damage of Raspberry Pi, because the cost of Raspberry Pi is very high. It is above 3000 rupees. So it's better to invest 300 rupees to save 3000 rupees. So here we are use T-cobbler and breadboard. So my setup for this practical is like this. This is my Raspberry Pi. This is my T-cobbler. On this T-cobblers, all pins are defined. This is my breadboard, and this is my 40 pin FRC cable. So this is my setup. This is my setup. This is Raspberry Pi. This is breadboard. I had connected LED here. So for LED blinking practical, I can use LED, and I had given only power supply. So no keyboard, no monitor, no mouse is connected here. So this is headless technology. This is used for projects or any applications, and here I am using LED. So first program is LED on off. So first program is LED on off. So I will write the program in Raspberry Pi. This program is in Python language. So let's start our session. Your first instruction is import RPI GPIO at GPIO. So it will import GPIO library. These two hash is the comments. Then import time. So import time library. We have to use delay, and for that there is one instruction sleep. So for that you can import time library. Next, gpio.set mode gpio.board. So we had initialized the Raspberry Pi pins as per board pin number. The next gpio.setup 11 comma gpio out. So I am using gpio pin number 11 as output pin. It is not gpio 11. It is pin number 11 of Raspberry Pi, so which is output pin. Now I will write the command to turn on this gpio 11 pin. So my instruction is gpio out 11 comma gpio dot high. Now this turns on. Now I have to wait for some time, so I will wait for 3 seconds. So time dot sleep 3 seconds. So this LED turns on for 3 seconds. After that, gpio out 11 comma gpio dot low. So I will turn off this system and I will wait for 1 second. Time dot sleep is for 1. So this time is in seconds. In Arduino it is in millisecond. In Node MCU it is in millisecond. But in Raspberry Pi this time is in second. So wait for 1 second, and after that clear up GPIO. So GPIO will become 0. So this is my first program. In this program I am turning on LED for 3 seconds and then I am turning off LED. So LED will turn on only one time for 3 seconds and automatically it will turn off. This is not LED blinking program. This is first program, LED on off program. Now we'll see LED blinking in loop. LED blinking in loop. So my first instruction, these 4 instructions are same: import gpio.gpio, import time, gpio set mode, gpio board, and output. Now in this, observe while true and semicolon. See, in C language we are using semicolon everywhere after each instruction, but in Python there is no need to write semicolon. While true means while 1, we have to write down colon. So it will start your loop. It will start your loop function. Now in C language we are not written any semicolon or colon in while, but in Python you have to write down colon. Now I am starting loop. So in C language you have to write down opening bracket, closing bracket, but in Python there is no opening bracket and closing bracket. So how to identify the loop? So there is tab button after the function, or there is space of 4. So you have to use 4 space, either 4 space or 1 tab button. So here, so this is my tab or 4 space. So here the loop will start. So gpio dot output 11 comma gpio high. Wait for 1 second. gpio out 11 comma gpio low. Wait for 1 second. So here I am not using any instruction. So repeat the program. So while true. So again it will become high for 1 second, low for 1 second, high for 1 second, low for 1 second. So this is not terminating program. So this is loop. But I want to terminate the program. So if you want to terminate the program, you have to provide interrupt. And to provide the interrupt, Control C is used to provide hardware interrupt. So when you press Control C, our Raspberry Pi will come out of this loop and it will come out of the loop. But when it will come out of the loop after interrupt, we don't know what is the status of LED, whether it is on or off. So our next final program, which take precaution, after interrupt it should be low. So this is the program, LED blink final program. So this is the same, import GPIO. Then we are using try function. So try while 1. So we have written this try while 1, and then we are using except keyboard interrupt, and then GPIO cleanup. Now see the program. This is your basic GPIO import time, then GPIO set mode board 11 as a output pin, then try. So do this until you got the interrupt. So try, do this while true, blink the LED, and when Control C is pressed, then LED should turn off. So this is the final program. Now we'll start our session, real practical on this. So now we'll see the demonstration. Now before starting demonstration, I told you that we are using Raspberry Pi in headless method, headless mode. In headless mode, we are not using keyboard, monitor, mouse. So I'm using my laptop's keyboard, mouse, and monitor. So everything operates on IP address. So first thing, we have to find out the IP address of Raspberry Pi. So for that, we'll see two modes. So this is my first mode, by using mobile, how to find out the IP address. Hello everyone. Now I am explaining you mobile app to find out IP address. So I will open Home Wi-Fi. So this is Home Wi-Fi software. Home Wi-Fi I will open. So this is Home Wi-Fi real-time protection network. Now it is searching Wi-Fi. So 0 devices on your Wi-Fi. So this mobile app will find out which devices are connected to Wi-Fi. This is used to find out your Raspberry Pi's IP address. So 4 devices are identified. So we'll click device. So here there are Raspberry Pi Foundation 192.168.43.123, and there is Raspberry Pi Foundation 192.168.43.141. So we'll try this. Online devices connected are 4. Okay, so we will connect this Raspberry. So by using this app, you can find out the Raspberry Pi IP address. So our Raspberry Pi Foundation IP address is 192.168.43.141. So this is from mobile hotspot. Now I had connected my Raspberry Pi to my home Wi-Fi. So first I have to find out the IP address using IP scanner. So I will use this software. I will click on scan. So it will scan the IP address. So it will scan IP address of Raspberry Pi and all devices which are connected to my Wi-Fi router. If you don't have Home app, you can use this. So it is scanning. Scanning is in progress. So it will find out all Wi-Fi devices. Now see, we got the IP address Raspberry Pi Foundation. The IP address is 192.168.0.101. So this is the IP address, currently IP address of my hardware Raspberry Pi Foundation. So I have to note down this Raspberry Pi IP address 192.168.0.101. Now I am using GUI mode. So in GUI mode I have to use Raspberry VNC software. So this is my VNC software. Here I have to write down IP address 192.168.0.101 and I have to press enter. So when I press enter, connecting to, so my username is Pi and password is Raspberry, 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 and I have to click on OK. So when I click on OK, I will get this terminal and it indicates SSH is not enabled. So I will get this screen of my Raspberry Pi. So we are getting this Raspberry Pi window. So SSH is enabled and default password for the Pi has not changed. So we have not changed the Raspberry Pi. So I will click on OK. Now this is the window of Raspberry Pi which is available on my computer using VNC. So I had not connected any keyboard and mouse and monitor, and I am observing the monitor of this Raspberry Pi on my laptop screen. So this is my VNC. Now you have to click on this start programming, and in programming you have to use Python. So there is one Thonny Python IDE. So Thonny Python IDE. So I will open this Thonny Python IDE. So this is my Thonny Python IDE. In this, the difference between Python Ideal and Thony Python IDE is, in Python Ideal you have to write program in separate window and you have to check the result in separate window. But in Thony Python you can write the program here and you can observe the output here. So in single software you will do all. So first we will write our LED on off program. So already I had written the program, so I will open that program, LED on off. So this is my program. Import RPI GPIO, import time, GPIO set mode, GPIO board, 11 is GPIO output, 11 GPIO high, wait for 3 seconds, GPIO low, wait for 1 second, and clean GPIO. So I will execute this program. So see, LED, this is my LED, right now it is off, so it will turn on for 3 seconds when I execute the program. So I will click on run, so it will execute the program. See, LED turns on 1 2 3. So after 3 seconds it will automatically turn off. I will click on stop, so stop. Again you can run by this, so I will click on run, so LED turns on for 3 seconds and it will stop on. After 3 seconds it will turn off. You can change the time as per your requirement. So this is our first practical, LED on off. Now we'll write the program for LED in loop. So I had already written the program, so LED in loop. So this is the program. In this I am using while true loop, so we have to press either 4 space or 1 tab button. So I will operate this. When I will click on this, automatically this LED will start blinking. So 1 second on, 1 second off. I can change the time. So first I have to stop this. I have to change the time. Suppose 1 will become 0.5. So half second it turns on and half second it turns off. 0.5. And again I have to play. So LED blinking fastly. Again if you have to change the time, 0.20 to 50 millisecond. Then again you have to press stop and then run. Now I am pressing stop. The LED is continuously on. That's why I am saying after stop is nothing but interrupt. It should be turned off, and for that you have to use except instruction. So now I will change the, it will run the, so this is turning on fast. So I will make it 1 second. I will press Control C button. So when you press Control C, see here, Control C. So Control C means keyboard interrupt. So I am pressing keyboard interrupt and my LED turns on. Again I will run this program. Again I will press Control C. So I had pressed Control C and my LED is off. So you cannot tell what is the output after Control C, after interrupt. So it may be high or low. For example, right now it is low. I will start my blinking program and I will press Control C. So I had given interrupt, it turns on. So it is race around condition. You cannot say what is the output. So we had added again one function, except. So try except. So this is our final LED blinking program, where we are using try and except. So same program is there, only difference is we had added try and except. So when you run the program, LED will blink. Whenever you press Control C, automatically LED will turn off. So whenever you press stop or Control C, LED should turn off. So this is GPIO cleanup function. So this is your final LED blinking program. This is my computer. So if I press quit, I will come out of this loop. So quit. This is my computer, Raspberry Pi. Here you can use shutdown button. If you want to use command mode, so you can use this terminal, and from this terminal you can give your commands like sudo apt -get update. So when I give this update command, it will find the updates available for this OS. And then if you want to upgrade, you have to give the command sudo apt -get upgrade. So command prompt is used for putty and GUI is used for VNC. So this is our session on LED blinking using Raspberry Pi and useful commands for Raspberry Pi. So thank you very much for watching this. Thank you.